Hey everyone, welcome back. Recently I got a few questions about my plants, to be more specific about Java ferns and anubias. Some of you were surprised that I'm buying them so big and so healthy. Especially about this anubias, I got tons of questions. Why is it so green and it looks so healthy? But in many cases I'm propagating and growing them myself. And today I will show you how I do it. Let's start from small introduction. Most epiphytes like anubias and ferns belong to so-called rhizome plants. Rhizomes are the most important parts of our plants. You should see it nicely right there. In general, on top of the rhizome, new leaves will develop, and below it you can see some roots. But even without any leaves or roots, rhizomes have incredible power of regeneration and can develop back into the complete plant. And we're gonna take advantage of that. Here I have very nice and dense Anubias nana. As you can see, it looks very healthy and has a lot of side shoots. So what I'm going to do is divide it into smaller plants and propagate it. And from that one plant, I'm going to make 12. Yes, you heard me right. I'm going to make 12. All we need right now is a pair of scissors. So all you have to do right now is plan a little bit where do you want to cut your plant and then cut it into smaller pieces. You should cut the rhizome with clean cuts and try not to squeeze it, because then it may rot. So as you can see, I divided this plant into really small pieces. When I'm cutting, I'm trying to create the pieces like 2 centimeters each. When they get smaller, that's okay, it's not a problem. They are obviously much smaller right now, but they will bounce back and they're actually gonna grow much faster this way. Because right now, the same amount of plants will try to develop 12 leaves at the same time. But this is not over yet. First of all, you can obviously just put it in your tank. When you divide your plant into smaller pieces, you have much more freedom about what to do with it. Here you can see an example of that. I had one anubias that I propagated myself, again split it 4 ways and spread it around the tank, and it looks okay. Next option would be to grow it immersed, and this is the interesting one. What I'd like to do is do it for free, so I'm actually using leftovers. What you're gonna need is a transparent container or a cup. I'm using a cup from in vitro plant. Next, you're gonna need few of those pots. Those are the pots from potted plants. So what you wanna do is cut those pots into smaller pieces, just like I'm showing you right now. It needs to be like 1 centimeter, maybe 2 centimeters high. That's it. And obviously you don't need those pots. I'm just using them to reuse the material. But as long as you have something in more or less this shape, it's fine. Next, we need to take one of those plants that we just cut and attach it to one of those pots, just like that. Try to be careful not to squeeze the plant and put the roots through those holes. The entire point of those pots is to rise the plant once we put it into the cup. And this is how it should look. So we have a cup, we have some pots or something else, and on top of them we have our plants. Next thing that you have to do is spray your plants with water that has some kind of a fertilizer inside. You can use basically the same fertilizer that you're using for your tank. And finally, you can close the cup and you should have something like this. I know it doesn't look like much, but please remember that we are doing this for free. There is zero cost of doing this, and you're gonna multiply your plants like crazy. And finally, what we have to do is have some kind of a light source. So this is my main tank. So I'm actually planning huge rebuild session, but this is not the point today. The point is I can open up this cabinet, and on top of my tank, I'm putting my plants in pots. Why I'm doing this like that? Because again, it costs me nothing. I'm running the lights anyway, because I have to for my main tank. And I'm just using this light to grow and propagate my plants. Super easy, super cheap, and really effective. So what you have to do right now is open the container every day and just spray it a little bit with water. It's very convenient because I'm doing this when I'm feeding my fish. Of course, the cup is holding the humidity inside, so the plants will never go dry. So they have absolutely everything they need to grow. And that's it. Few weeks from now, you're gonna see some growth, and few months from now, you're gonna have beautiful 3 anubias plants. I actually have another container right next to it, so you can see how it grew over time. Let me just take it and just show it to you. Okay, here we go. So this container was set up like 3 or 4 months ago. So the growth is not crazy fast, but please remember that this is anubias. So look at those leaves. They are super clean. There is zero sign of algae because those plants are growing immersed. There is no water. So you should understand now why I'm setting this like that. So only the roots are in the water. Both rhizome and leaves are above it. And when I'm ready, when I need those plants, I will harvest them and use them in one of my scapes. I'm using anubias in almost all my builds, and I haven't bought one in over a year. All you need is some patience. There is nothing stopping you from growing 20 different types of anubias exactly like that. It will take some time, but will save you a lot of money. And you can do exactly the same thing with Java ferns. Just cut the rhizome, leave few leaves on it, some roots, and it's going to be fine. This is the example from my shrimp breeding tank. I cut 2 pieces of rhizome with few leaves, and this is how it looks like today. And because I'm planning ahead, I also cut few extra pieces and put it in my plant storage, and this is how it looks today. The principle is exactly the same, only the container is bigger. So if you want to save some money on plants or you need huge amounts of anubias, just grow it yourself. It's very easy to do, you're gonna save a ton of money and you're gonna have fun with it. All you need is some very basic things, starting plant and patience. And if you're wondering why I need so much anubias, well, maybe you should subscribe and see what I'm going to do with it. In the next videos, I will also show you how I'm growing my other plants, because I'm propagating a lot of them, because I need a lot of them for my other builds. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button if you liked it, and as always, see you in the next one.